Hi there, my name's Jacob, and for my research paper, I decided to do uh, a couple of the expressions or the emotions that Psalms goes over. And the three emotions I chose were anger, joy, and patience. The reason I chose those three is because I'm a firm believer that those are the three biggest um emotions that have a lot of power over many people. To start with is anger, and I'm sure most, if not all of you, understand the foothold that anger can have. And just having a little bit of anger or hardened heart can go a long way in just making someone very hot-headed. I don't know if you've been that person before or if you've dealt with that person before. It's never fun to deal with them, and it's not fun to be a hot-headed individual. You live with a lot of stress, and you just you have a short fuse and anything can set you off. But there were a couple of verses that stuck out to me about anger. The first one is kind of a long one. It's Psalm 109. And it says, May his days be few. May another take his office. May his children be fatherless and his wife a widow. May his children be roaming vagrants and beggars. May they be cast out of the ruins of their homes. And may the usurer, I don't know how to pronounce that, ensnare all his belongings, and strangers plunder the fruit of his labors. May there be no one to do him a kindness, nor anyone to pity his orphans. May the guilt of his fathers be remembered by the Lord. Let not his mother's sin be blotted out, and may they continually before the Lord uh, till he banish the memory of these parents from the earth. As you read that, initially you're kind of shocked. That sounds like a very angry and bitter statement. Now, with context, the writer of that psalm is more seeking restitution and vengeance on Babylon for what they did to the Jews or the Hebrews. Um, it's it's a verse show anger and hatred. I'm sure at some point someone like this has spoken to you that way, or someone you know, or maybe you have spoken to someone that way, and it's just you can see the weight that passage alone bears on this individual. But it's more of a anger can be kind of complicated. You know, you think of anger as a terrible emotion. It is with the wrong intention, and that's what I try to get at. The intention behind anger, if it's righteous anger, like God's anger toward us, God can be an angry God, but his anger towards sin is righteous and it's not unrighteous. Our anger toward individuals who have wronged us is unrighteous, and it's hard to have a righteous kind of anger. It's really hard to justify the angers that humans the things that humans get angry at. We can't really justify all of it as righteous. The the next emotion is joy, which I like joy because, well, one, makes your day brighter, but two, it I believe joy is purely associated to God. It's the presence of God. Um, a verse that stuck out to me was Psalm 16:11. You make known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. The reason I chose that verse is because it shows straightforward that you fill me with joy in your presence. Joy comes from the presence of God. And that's why I really like to touch base on that. And it can be a hard emotion to find, especially in this day and age. But when we really just spend time in God's presence, there's a lot of joy to be found. And lastly, patience. Patience is a very important virtue. I think it develops an individual and helps them become a stronger, more successful, and well balanced person. And I know that patience um, allows God to also do work within us. And the verse that stuck out to me was Psalms 5:3. Listen to my voice in the morning, Lord. Each morning I bring my request to you and wait expectantly. The reason I chose that is because every day we go to God and we lay down everything at His feet, and we have to trust and be patient that His will be done in His timing. Thank you.